Yes, that was a perfect musical introduction to this next episode. Bad dinner guests. Tonight we're talking quickly about our bad Tinder matches and just internet dating in general. It's a crazy, awful game out there.
It is.
And this came about because, to put the context on it, you listeners and viewers out there are familiar with our friend Nathan by now. And what? Man. So Nathan,
I didn't do it that time.
I know. I just. All right, so we're off to a great start. That's great.
So bad dates and shitty Tinder experiences.
Yeah, well, Nathan was here with us this last weekend, making some podcasts with us, and one thing that always happens when he comes by is he spends his whole time on Tinder, and I inevitably, Lou can vouch for this, just about every time Nathan comes to town, I end up re-downloading Tinder by the time the weekend's over. And then
I started one.
I'll spend the next 2-3 days on it and then delete it until the next time Nathan comes back. And we just recently, on Nathan's most recent trip, he got Lou sipped in on it. And
it's god awful.
Yeah,
Nobody talks. You fucking get matched up with these people. Nobody says a fucking word, or they're prostitutes.
So as bad dinner guests, you would think that, maybe it's us. I don't know. But we figured we wanted to talk about this a little bit and kind of, because now, Lou, you've been at it for about a week or so.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see because I check in, I come in and out. I'm sure the only reason I know that RJ even had one is that crafty bastard Nate went through and found us on Tinder to add us to a group. I don't even know how he did that.
Are we all Facebook friends?
We are all Facebook friends, but that's still like I can't go. I don't know how to go search and find my other. I wouldn't want to find my other Facebook friends on Tinder. I thought the point of it was that your own friends don't show up.
I have my friends show up on there.
Well, I've had some of my friends show up on there, but they're not actually my Facebook friends, or I've realized that they have 2 accounts.
Right.
I haven't had any of my actual Facebook friends show up.
Like, we've matched twice. Every time she re-downloads it, she'll come back through my scroll around here, and we're Facebook friends. Same account.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts. I have yet to experience that. So apparently that he found us, and that was odd too, because a lot of people actually would respond to the group things, but it was a Sunday night, and we weren't actually going. I don't know why he did it.
Yeah.
He always. I think he's just trying to get me to get out of the house more when he comes through. I do feel bad sometimes. We just end up hanging out here, and I live very close to downtown, so I could see how he'd rather be outside. But my experience with Tinder so far has been interesting. I've had some interesting conversations. Half the time I will just have some quick texting conversations, never even get as far as the phone number. I think I've gotten a couple of phone numbers. I've went on one date off this thing, and it was very awkward and uncomfortable. Movies are a bad first date in the first place, especially when it's just the movie, and then you go your separate ways afterwards. You don't really have any time to get to. But she had a really deep voice. I felt like her voice was deeper than mine, and I just couldn't get past it. So I actually was kind of glad.
Her hand's bigger than yours, too.
I was kind of glad.
It was actually Lou.
It was actually, it's actually how I met Lou.
It really was. And he's a cheap bastard, too. Didn't pay for the popcorn.
She paid for her own ticket, absolutely. I am more than just a bad dinner guest out here. I'm a bad bad first date. Yeah, I'm a true feminist, yeah.
Yeah.
You hold the door open for me, damn it. That's equality. No, that's actually not true. Random side note, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys on air before. Did I tell you I had a woman give me a hard time because I held the elevator door open for her?
Yeah, I think you last week on.
Okay. Fair enough.
Shit.
So I am not. I'm about to
I've
become
caught shit
that.
for holding doors open for women.
I might become that, yeah. Where it's like, well, now you're giving me shit for holding the door open for you. Like, I'll hold the door open for a dude too.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hold it open for an old man or a child or Pretty
I
much
damn near
like
open the door for anybody.
pretty yeah. If you're about my size and in my shape, then fine. I'll hold the door open behind me until you get there and you can grab it and hold on.
It's
But
common fucking courtesy.
yeah. So this online dating thing. Now I actually when I first moved to Columbus, I used some internet dating sites because I lived on campus. Best one, worst one?
Yes.
The only one that I actually used as far as it met anyone on it was Plenty of Fish, actually. And the strange thing was the girl that I met was my neighbor. She lived in the apartment building across the alley from me. Literally, I could see her.
Fuck?
I could see her window from my window. Newt Dog, our Bad Dinner Guest mascot. He's about to be, actually. We have a picture from his.
Put down?
We have his. No, he's not about to be put down. We have a picture from I think his 3rd birthday party where he's got a nice little red bow tie on instead of his collar, and I'm gonna use that as a logo, and maybe get it slapped up on the wall.
That'd be pretty dope. Put on business cards.
Yeah, just it's him like laying on my bed with the bow tie on. It's ridiculous. It looks like some kind of like I don't know, like Chippendales cover or something, but it's a dog because he's just like laying there, Newt Dog, just giving you the eyes. But anyway, so. My dog used
Bitches
to
and studs of the month.
hang out looking out at this window, and I met this when she messaged me. We started talking. She's like, "Hey, where do you live?" And I told her I live across the street from this bar. She's like, "Yeah, me too." She's like, "Oh my God, do you live in that house that has that cute dog that I think she called him adorable, whatever? Do you have the house with that dog that looks out the window?" I was like, "Yeah," and it turned out we were neighbors. So I met a girl online that lived next door to me. That I could have just met basically by standing out on the porch long enough. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Besides that, yeah, online dating, I'm much better in person.
Right.
The worst thing you can do for me is give me time to think about what to say, because then I'll fuck it up.
Yeah.
I got to be like reactionary on my feet. I gotta let that hemisphere of my brain take over, so I'm much better in person because you're forced. You've got about 5 to 7 seconds you can pause, and then you've got some words have to come out of your mouth.
Or you'll just flip retarded.
You're gonna have to do it. So.
Have never gone as wrong through Tinder chats as they've gone in person if it's taken the wrong way, or like, because I know you said like you're on fire in person, but on that shit you have issues. But I guarantee you there's been just as many times, or maybe as many times, that it's gone downhill because you were just rolling off the top of your head too.
Yeah, but usually it's when I'm drunk though.
Yes.
It's usually at the end of the night. What I fall into is online at the beginning of it. It's hard for me to start internet conversations. It's hard for me to start chatting conversations. I mean, you guys interact with me via text message. I might say a lot when it comes to a plan, or I might give you all the details in a long text message. But overall, I don't really say a whole lot.
I generally initiate contact.
I'm much more interactive in person than I am via text, and I don't know, because I'm not particularly charming online. I might be a little short with my words. I might be a little too bland, but it doesn't really bother me. I feel like Tinder's just there for like an ego boost,
right?
It's like, ooh, 2 chicks that think I'm hot. Hell yeah, that works.
Right.
I feel good today. Feel good. Not gonna send her a message though, because I don't know. I don't remember. Have you guys got matches where you're like, I don't remember swiping right on this girl?
Yeah.
Because that happens to me a lot too, where I'm like, either you changed all of your pictures in the time since I swiped you, or I was just like I had a muscle spasm or a twitch, and I just was like right swiping everything. Because to bring our boy back into the fold, we discussed his strategy while he was here. Nate will right swipes just about everyone, and just like will unmatch chicks that he's not into. Like, I hate to put him on blast here. I feel kind of bad. I don't want to give away too much of his strategy, but I thought that was kind of funny too. Like, people are applying strategies to this Tinder game.
I just have a paper bag that I keep right next to my phone. So quick comparison.
I
did.
I rarely swipe right if there's no bio.
Oh yeah.
You actually make it to the bio.
There's a lot of bots.
So I always swipe left if it looks like you're a cam girl. or if I just am like I won't go that far down on the scale. Like,
Yeah.
but I never make it to the bio until after we've matched, and then I'm like, oh, and then I make it to picture number 2, and that's where you find unmatched in the top right corner. Because my standards are way too high for my rating on that site, I'm sure.
Dude, wait, you have a rating?
Oh no, I
was gonna say.
about it.
I was gonna say,
Right.
man, because my rating's probably bad. There's probably a handful of girls who are like,
Do you remember
yeah,
like Hot or Not off of like old MySpace and shit?
that's
like
what
that?
it is, right? I feel like that's exactly all that it is. Because
Pretty much.
You see it. There's a lot of
With a messenger.
There's a lot of bios where girls are like, you can tell they're salty. They're like, sure, let's match and never talk. But I'm like,
Right.
you could say, what's up? It's like, on one hand, if I open the door for you, I'm a sexist pig because I have to open the door for the helpless little old lady. But then on Tinder, I have to start the conversation because chivalry. What in the fuck is 2016? I feel like I'm in a different dimension here. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's on the internet. Why is this old?
Because people are by and large retarded.
The people that want you to use pickup lines.
I
Like, I should not.
And
Are
psychotic
are
bitches
we-
don't use logic.
Yeah, like I really like. I'm trying to have a conversation, not like. Fucking pickup line just pips me off. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. but
Right.
Oh, best pickup
me a
line.
fucking-
You guys
yeah.
got one off the top?
I
of your
do.
head? Yeah.
Hey,
No.
I'm gonna go for a walk. Can you do me a favor and hold this for me? And then you hold out your hand.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, mine are all like vulgar from middle school and stuff. That I can think of.
Yeah, I hate pickup lines. I really can't even like think of one off the top of my head. What's a vulgar one from middle school?
I was vulgar in
I
elementary
can't-
school.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was something along the lines of like, you want to play war? Something like, I'll lay down, you can blow me up. Some just like silly stuff like the stupid one like, did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Right.
Okay.
Are you from Memphis? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I can't think of any.
This is why we're not killing it on the Tinder game.
Yeah, but this
Roses are red, violets are blue. You
just-
also make my balls blue.
like roses are red, violets are blue. After staring at that ass, my balls are too. Something like that.
Yeah.
You just hit them with some poems. Damn girl, you poop with that butt is one
That's
that
probably
I
the most
friends.
effective.
Yeah, that's been the best one. Yeah. Well,
My favorite one is, hey bitch, how much?
ooh. Yeah.
Actual pickup lines.
Is
Not even metaphorical
it's
anymore. Literally before he picks them up.
Yeah.
You have because you hire the girls that you have to go pick up, right? You don't mess with the
In
pimps.
my free America, there will be a Tinder for hookers where you can just swipe right and left and then look at
Yeah.
the rates later.
Yeah, dude, could you imagine Tinder in Vegas? I bet you.
Oh
there's
my
a price.
god.
There's got to be. I bet you there's a price at the bottom of each bio. Like,
Yeah.
Even on the ones that like aren't actually
Half and
hookers,
half.
They're like, well, you're here. I guess if you have this much.
Yeah, it's probably just some like the occasional thirsty chick that's like, well, I could also, I could get some head and also make
How
$200
many-
tonight.
How many
Right.
female friends of yours have admitted to having sex for money? I better not be the only guy here that has more than one. Jesus Christ.
I don't
Never asked.
think. Yeah, it's not a.
They
it's
just
not a-
like came out and told me.
Yeah, I know one. I did have a former friend that at the very least never paid for her weed because she used to just blow the dude for it.
That's the same
That's
thing.
as far as I've got. I don't know
Right.
anybody that's had sex for actual money, but that's about
Goods
my
and
knowledge.
services.
Weed is as good as money.
Yeah.
Because the bitch could turn around and sell that weed. Weed sells itself.
Sounds like she can. Never mind.
So
Sounds like she can sell a few things.
Yeah.
But.
yeah.
No.
Ton.
Do you have any
Tonsils.
female friends that have faked having a pregnancy to get the guy to pay for an abortion and then just use the money for shopping?
No, but I like, so for instance, I once was dumped by a chick like right after I paid off her mom's credit card and paid her rent.
Why did you do that?
Well, I thought it was her credit card, and it wasn't like I paid it off. It was like I fronted her $70 and then fronted her like $150 on her portion of the rent.
Okay.
But because I was an idiot back then, I mean, you do idiot things when you're an idiot. And it was one of those situations where I was doing okay financially at the moment, and I legitimately could afford to help her and would have helped. That's something I would do for a close enough friend, potentially. Not really to that level again. And to her credit, she did pay me back.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, but it did feel pretty weird where it's like, I think it was like a day or two after I help her out of this spot, and then it's like she dumps me, and that's when I think I really started to change my perspective on things.
Right.
That should have been the day you quit holding the door open, Kevin.
That should have been the day. Yeah.
Just close it.
Should have started, yeah.
Like Michael on Kate.
Just holding doors closed every time women try to walk indoors. Yeah.
This bitch is trying to get in here.
So, like, the best Tinder result you've ever had?
Best Tinder result I've ever had. So I found this girl who her picture was her holding up a flag of Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And I talked to that girl for a little bit, and we sent a few text messages back and forth. I never did meet her. Her life was well too organized. Like she had her shit together. She had something social that she was doing every night. Every time I texted her, she was doing this event with this friend, and I was like, There
Why are
doesn't
you
seem
on this app? Like, you're always so busy.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it doesn't
Right.
seem like that. Like, and granted, now if
She
I
just
didn't,
wants to feel pretty.
if I didn't,
That is all that fucking boils down
and
to,
it was
dude.
something along the lines of like, yeah, if I didn't text her for a couple of days, I'd get a message out, and I get a message from her and that stuff. So she was wanting to talk, but it was like I never asked her to hang out because I didn't want to be the third wheel with her and her friends. I didn't want to go over on, Thursday night we watch Game of Thrones or whatever, and Tuesday night we play Jenga.
Jesus.
And, whatever it was. And so I just I pulled the oil, and then on Thursday night I lay down with a bottle of oil. Oh, I already did Thursday night. That's Wednesday night. Well, anyway, yeah. So I didn't feel, I didn't feel like I was gonna fit into that puzzle, and so
Sloppy Tuesdays. Sorry.
So it didn't end up going.
No, it didn't end up good, but it was still great
Couldn't help
because
myself.
how often do you get to even see a picture of a Nicolas Cage blanket? I think it was a pillowcase, and So that's the best result I've gotten. I don't know. What about you? Anything?
Oh, a couple weird ones, but like the best one that just like had the best like payoff, I guess. Like 3 years ago, right when the app came out, I matched with some chick, and she was all right looking, and we would hook up, and I would go to her place and hook up with her all the time. But
nice.
She I was a little bit better looking than her, which that tells you something because you guys know what I look like. But but no, she was a little thirsty is what I'm getting at essentially. So I was like, I'm kind of trying to have a threesome. Do you have any friends that would be down? And she was like, I'll ask. And I was like, are you fucking shitting me? Yes. All right, I'm so down for this. So like, I was like, well, if you're down for that, like, I'm gonna look through your friends. So,
right. This chick.
You sound like the dude from Vertigo, but go ahead.
I feel like I'm making this story up, but so I get on her Facebook and like I see one of her friends and I was like, so what about your friend? I almost said her name. And she's like, I don't know, she might be down. And I was like, all right, cool, ask her. So I was expecting like a week later for her to get back to me. It was like 30 minutes later. She's like, she wants a picture. And I was like, well, I need a picture too then. So I send one of me. She sends one back. And like the next Monday, I have the worst sinus infection I've ever had in my life.
Oh, God.
We worked overtime at the warehouse that day. I wasn't even supposed to work. So I worked that entire day with like a sinus infection. I'm on like 3 different medications. I go over there fucked up on fucking all kinds of Dayquil and shit. And like there's her and her friend is a fucking 10. So it was totally worth the like little drop I took.
Oh shit.
Dude, yeah.
Definitely. But I like had to
take a blue pill and a fucking
prescription
Jameson.
in between sessions, which was hilarious. Going outside, smoking a cigarette, and drinking a Tussin bottle.
That is
Robo
a
tripping.
fantastic story. That makes it worth it. That makes all of my failure worth it. So you brought up the threesome thing. I wanted to, since we're on this interesting and weird topic anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever been in a spot where, for instance, we've probably all been in spots where as 2 single guys we're competing with a buddy over who's going to pick up this drunk chick at the bar potentially. Happened to me a time or 2 in college. And in one of those occasions, you could tell that the girl actually was trying to make the play for her. Like she was trying to get both of us.
Okay.
She was going for that devil's 3-way, and I can't do it either.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things. Neither of us wanted to see the other.
That's when you
the
fake
other
him out
one.
and be like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I'll be like, nah, you just have it.
Well, so I've run into this situation twice, and on the one chance, the other dude backed down gracefully. He was a real good friend of mine. He pretty much was like, dude, you can just have this one. It's cool. I'm gonna go home. And then I ruined it for myself because later that night in her apartment, she made some comment about being happy that I was there, and me being me said something along the lines of like, bullshit, like you would have gladly taken Harrison if I wasn't around. And kind of just pointed out the fact that she
your
was
mouth, dude.
Yeah, she just kind of pointed out the fact that she was trolling on two dicks the whole night. And it didn't matter to her who she had got, and she did not take that well at all.
I wonder why.
I mean, I said it a lot more nicely than this. I tried to. I think I might have been. I was hammered. I think I might have even tried to been like, you know how sometimes people fish for compliments or something. I think I was more going along the lines of like, oh yeah, really? Because I felt like you probably would have hooked up with Harrison if I had decided to go home.
Did she at least let you stay the night?
Oh yeah, I slept on the couch for sure. Yeah. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't have to call a cab home. And the other instance, it was a more sort of a weird situation where it wasn't just two of us dudes and a chick. There was actually like sort of a room session. I felt that was going on where you had like. There was only one chick that I was aware of that was in the house, but there were several guys that were coming back upstairs without their shirts on. And I remember at one point, along the lines, long story short, being offered a turn. And I was just like, no, man, no way.
I'm cool.
That's one of the nights where you don't even actually sleep. You just kind of lay down and watch TV until you feel that you're sober enough to drive. And you drive home at about 4:30.
Yeah.
Just getting the hell out of there.
Like,
yeah. So
I'm not using the cum of like 8 other dudes
as my lube.
Yeah.
There's that. That's what she said.
I hate you motherfuckers so much.
That's
Putting 3 or 4 fingers in with your dick trying to make it fucking tight again.
I have the worst gag reflex for listeners that haven't heard past him.
Yeah, he's like your high school girlfriend. So what about you guys? Any weird things as far as, I mean, I don't know whether it be the online dating or just the cesspool that is college, the meat markets.
Have you met one that wants to like straight up tells you they're looking for a sugar daddy?
No, yeah.
Okay, that blew me away. Which was just like straight up like, yeah, I'm just looking for somebody to take care of me. I'm like, well, bitch, this is basically finish that bowl.
Yeah.
Because I ain't that ain't
Right. Taking care of you was letting you hit my weed.
I think it was actually hers. But again, that is not what I was looking for.
Right. Taking care of you is the extent of how well I lay down the pipe.
Oh, there it is.
That's, yeah.
Which
I'll put you to sleep, girl.
Maybe bi-weekly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
okay. Yeah. Everybody says that. That's funny. I think the only reason we fight wars is because people are worried about how small their dick is. I think if everybody was confident in their dick size, there wouldn't be war. That's I believe that's George Carlin's philosophy. I'm not going to quote that as if that's my own. I just believe in it.
It's a good one.
I think the whole world is just run on dick envy. But
yeah, we should talk to Hillary Clinton about that one.
Dude, Hillary's got the biggest dick on that stage.
She's got like a 5-inch clip.
Randomness coming from out of left field. I watched a video today called Meet the Clintons that it said essentially that President Clinton's run, Hillary had as many female visitors as Bill.
Yeah,
so basically,
I heard that too.
They were trying.
One of the bodyguards said that shit.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
The video showed a quote from the bodyguards. But again, you know, I don't on stories like that, but I thought it was funny to mention. And so, anything you guys got nothing for me? I mean, the dating scene, like, anybody been catfished? You know, so for instance,
I've never been catfished. I don't do the online game hard enough to get catfished.
We have a
Tinder's really the extent I've fucked. Like, I have a paranormal date. I'm fucked with online dating.
You're on paranormal. There's a paranormal dating site.
Yeah, coast to coast. George Norrie started it.
That is great. I'm gonna get on that.
Isn't that Christian Mingle?
Pun intended. I want to get on Christian Mingle as well. and just
I'm
make
looking for.
make a.
I wanna get on
picture with
J-Date.
a bunch of Luciferian hand signals.
I
I'm
love
gonna
Jewish girls.
hold the 666 over my eye and stick my tongue out,
They put it in the butt.
and then put.
No, not me. I'm not down for that. But if you're Jewish,
No, I
or
meant
ginger,
put it in their
look
butt.
Me up on Tinder. Yeah, I'm not down for that either.
You know what,
I don't fuck with butt stuff. You
You
heard
like
about
that,
my gag reflex, man? Like I don't.
Hey, if we weren't supposed to put stuff up there, it'd have a gag reflex.
No, I don't. I disagree with that logic.
My nose doesn't have a gag reflex. My ear has a pain reflex. But so would my butt, I'm assuming.
This is why I wanted to have this podcast. This is wonderful.
Jesus. So what is like your weirdest like date ever then, Lou? Be it from the internet or not.
Was it
Okay.
from Paranormal Day? Oh, you've got one?
There was this girl that she was redhead, and we went to career center with each other for law enforcement. And yeah, it was like law enforcement, criminal justice, career center. And after graduation, we met up, Jesus, like 2 or 3 years later. Some bullshit. No, it was like a year later. Sorry.
Could she put you in a headlock?
No.
Oh,
No.
man, that's sexy.
There's only one person that could beat me in class. Ow, my toes.
You
And
have
that
to.
was Sergeant. He paid me extra.
That was so.
Yep. But anyway, so I was listening to Power 107.5, and I won premiere tickets to go see Fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, and it was a packed fucking theater, and this bitch almost got me murdered.
How's that?
Dude, there was I don't know if it was a family or just friends or whatever, but there was a group of black folks behind us, and she kept dropping the fucking N-bomb. About them laughing, and it's like, bitch, everybody's laughing. It's Jim Carrey, and it's like, do you really think I'm gonna fucking like step up and get like? There was like 4 or 5 dudes. Like it was a large group of people.
Was she saying some real Great Gatsby stuff like, did you know that when they snort, they breathe in twice our air?
Damn near. Damn near. Saying fucking slurs I didn't even know were slurs.
Can you give us some examples, please?
I don't remember specific things.
Man.
Man, can we look
And this
her
is
up?
like a decade ago.
I need
I'm
to look
almost
her up
30.
and ask her for racial slurs.
I
I need some new words that like bite. I'm running out.
I need some new stuff to go on Urban Dictionary and look up. So yeah, let's find her. Does she have email? It's probably on. She's on Hotmail, I bet.
She's probably
So
on AIM.
But yeah,
original
what the
internet dating
fuck? I just, yeah.
So I imagine you only went on the one date, huh?
Fuck
Yeah.
no. Why? She's racist. She likes movies. I bet she liked food. What more do you want from a bitch?
A tongue ring. A tongue ring.
What are
Okay,
you
I said
asking?
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, how fucking
I am
picky
looking
are you?
for one thing in life, and that is a tongue ring. No.
She probably would have done it for you.
Okay, 2 things, but a tongue ring is one.
She probably would have put it in the butt for me.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
make it about being part of the master race and a necessity.
Right?
She would have totally been down. Listen,
Oh,
I need to
man.
make sure that you are truly Aryan.
So,
And Hitler's lost writing.
Hail cock!
all right.
March on down that cock.
Okay. All right.
The Blitzen cocking.
I
The
wish
great nipple lecking of
we need
83.
one of those red lights that they put on award shows where we can be like, Lou, all right, 5 jokes in a row. All right, stop with the. We need a light for.
We just need a buzzer
We need
Right?
for when
Uh.
Noah tries rapping.
Oh man, the Noah raps. Oh man, yeah. It was
That alone makes me need to go back
When
and
I
watch
try and look up
stuff.
another video.
man, yeah. If you guys need to go back to our, well, it was our first Bread and Circuses episode, right? It's a different episode. Noah raps some lines from his book. he lays them down for us. It's great. It was an added bonus I didn't see coming.
Yeah, look up Brendan Circus's No Net interview, I think.
Okay.
Oh, I will say, based on watching the XXLs this year's freshman class, I would say that Noah could have been on.
How'd he do?
Class.
That's what I was. It.
I mean, you'll have to listen for yourself, man. It's
Speaking of Tinder dates, let's watch this fucking music video.
Tinder dates,
Right.
That's what people come to expect from us. There's a little bit of randomness.
You gotta grope around.
Because I've been over here trying to figure out
Segues.
which of my dates I got the hiccups or something here. Which of my dates I would say was the weirdest? I don't have so much weird dates as I have weird encounters from like house parties and bars where it's like it's not a date because you guys didn't plan to meet up with each other, but some weird things, some interesting stories have happened to me in those situations. I've gotten really, really drunk in college and done some things that created some interesting stories for my friends to have about me that they could tell at any point in time that they felt like keeping me in line because
Right.
I did a couple of embarrassing things and got myself into some fights. But as far as a date goes that went really poorly, I'm trying to think of, because I keep it simple. I have a strategy for this, guys. I mean, actually will share it with you. It might be helpful. So first 2 or 3 dates, what I do every time, I go do something that I would enjoy all by myself. Because that way, if she sucks, I can just fucking book it. Fun. Like, for instance, Newt Dog, our lovely studio dog over there, he got me my first date in Columbus by slipping out the front door and jetting across the street and then just sitting at the feet of this girl that was on her way to class. He just sat at her feet and like waved his tail and looked up, and she pet him until I walked over there and grabbed him. And then I ended up getting a date. I ended up getting, I think, two or three dates out of that. So that's my ride or die dog over there.
That's why I need a puppy.
Newt Dog reels in
They do.
more ladies for me than I ever could. Anyway, I had to give him that credit. But so the first time I went to the zoo, because you know what? She turned out to be awful. And the date went poorly. I had just moved to Columbus. I had just spent the last 6 months in Toledo living by myself in a 5-bedroom house. I hadn't socialized in a while. I kept calling her man and stuff like that. So I can understand why there were only 2 days.
I call everybody dude.
Well, the funny thing is I don't blame her. I have actually been in spots where I've dated girls that call me dude all the time, and after a while it does grow on me a little bit. It's like, dude, stop calling me dude.
Right.
Or like I've dated girls that were in the service industry and they'd call their customers honey, and then they'd call me honey and be like, do not, like, no, Like,
I hear you call every douchebag honey.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't go in salesman mode on me right now, because I knew what it would mean when that word was coming. Like,
go down my spine. I fucking hate it. Or baby.
I
hate that. If a girl calls me baby while we're fucking, I want to punch her in the fucking face.
The worst part,
not just a nut.
To me, I think the worst one is daddy. I really do.
Oh.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So okay, you want to hear you want to hear a really weird, awkward story? It has nothing to do with a date, but I'll be honest about this, is a weird sexual encounter here. I was actually with a girl once who, at one point or another, I referenced something. She got angry. Was like, put it back in, whatever. And I referenced making sure that I still had the condom on, right?
Right.
And then I made some joke about like, yeah, sorry, I was just making sure it was still on. I'm not in any hurry to be a parent. And then like a minute or two later, she's on top of me. She's like, well, I think he'd make a good dad though. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Like, no, instant, just boop, I'm out of here. Like, why would you say that?
Is there a hole in this condom?
Yeah, exactly. I started checking her room for thumbtacks and stuff. Like, what the hell is going on here?
I'd be a good mom. Yeah, like not even.
You
like,
gender biased
mad
bitch.
at me now. They want to like compliment me for it. They instantly, and maybe it's like condescending tone with everything I say. I don't give a fuck.
I think you'll be a great nagging bitch in 10 years.
So this girl, the only girl that ever called me daddy, like the second time we hung out, she like tells me the story of her dad dying when she was like 9.
God.
So and she was a school teacher too. So it was just really fucking weird to me. Like the third time we were fucking, and every other time after that, she would call me daddy. And I'm like, dude, you have so many, like, there's got to be some background stuff going on in there. I can't deal with this shit. I've read too many books.
The definition of issues.
Have you guys ever had chicks that ask you to tell them a story? You go like, you're just like after sex, you'll be laying in bed and they're like, tell me a story to fall asleep. To me, that's like the creepiest thing ever.
Right.
It is.
No.
It is so. I've had multiple women that I've dated be like, and maybe it's because of my writing background, and maybe that's. But part of me feels like it's just like, no, you actually like want me to sort of replace the role of your father for you, and it is creeps that shit. Creeps me the fuck out.
That's the same chick that wants to be provided for and shit. And I'm sorry, I'm not looking for that lifestyle.
No, I'm not looking for that lifestyle, but that chick is also just dynamite in between the sheets usually.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
just
the crazy ones
let's
are.
be honest.
I've slept with multiple girls that end up being lesbians, and they're always the worst. But the best ones are the ones that are feminists. I'm sorry, but like I have a couple that hate
they go out and get
political,
theirs,
like,
man.
issue. Yeah, no doubt. And they will hate everything you say. I will say faggot and everything else, and it will drive her up a fucking wall.
Yeah.
But she is the best in fucking everything.
A
It's
good
okay.
a good rage bone is where it's at. Actually, my first steady friends with benefits was someone that I could not stand. We disagreed with it, everything at school.
We come over, fight, and fuck.
Yeah, exactly, and boom, get the fuck out. You know, like it was like no, not even me with that. It was literally like I'm here for this, or you know, she would be there for that, and then boom, you're out of here to see you the next day in class. Like this dumb fucking bitch. What is she talking about? Getting in arguments in class, like using the professor as our segue, like arguing our points in class, and then like looking down at the text, being like, "You better slap my ass later," like weird stuff like that. Where it's, yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you know about the 3/5 clause? You know, like stuff. So, yeah. You gotta have a good, healthy hate fuck in your life.
Have you ever slept with too close of a friend and fucked that shit up before, or had it go well? I had one that went well and one that fucked up.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game. It really kind of depends.
One that died.
Oh.
But go on.
Oh yeah, man. I actually can relate to you. It's weird when someone dies in your life.
2 or 3. It's weird. It is really weird. Because, like, everybody has, like, when you're, like, you think about people that you fucked before, and, like, they pop up, and you're like, wait, no.
Yeah.
You're factionary.
You're like, holy shit. Like, that person.
Black that out.
Yeah.
That person is not alive anymore. Yeah. It takes a weird toll on you. At least it did to me when the only time that, at least to my knowledge, to be honest, I don't go tracking down too many of my old flames anymore. So I hope that none of them are dead. I will say that. Let me get that. Yeah.
But had one that went well, one that went bad. Close friend.
They've all went bad for me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
See, I've been a notorious workplace dater.
Okay.
Mainly because I'm aware, like it's not. I feel like the way I said that made me sound pretty bad right off the rip. But I think I've done enough to damage my chances of ever dating anyone once she listens to our podcast once or twice. But
for future legal troubles with the Battered Internet Network with our female streamers and Kevin, this is on the record. Go on.
Yeah, right. It's mainly just because I'm a workaholic, man. That's the only place I interact with people. So, and to my credit, I usually am very hesitant. Like I don't believe in workplace romance, so I always end up almost getting dragged into it. Or it's like, you know, to go by what you're saying, yeah, once I've hooked up with a friend before, and at first it was cool, and she started out by saying how cool it was going to be. We could be friends with benefits, and then, you know, this was no big deal. You know, it was just a good time. Then a month or two later turns into like, hey, it's shit or get off the pot time, Kevin. Like, I'm not playing this game anymore. And I'm like, well, you're pretty cool. It's been pretty cool so far. All right, fine. And the next thing you know, boom, full-blown relationship. And it's like, oh, shit, things changed out here. But that's why Tinder's better for me, because I can just be like, ooh, this chick, she thinks I'm hot. Cool. So I'm good. I can walk around with some self-confidence. Good. I don't need it.
Right.
I still have the internet. And, so I don't need a girlfriend yet until I can no longer afford the cable bill.
Fair enough. I got the felony and the lack of a driver's license, so they're gonna start flooding me soon.
Oh, yeah. You are in line for a lot of 22 to 24-year-olds to start rolling your way.
I'm hoping for it.
Everybody likes a good project.
Yeah. Ladies, I am a unfinished painting, an open canvas, if you will.
Yep.
Come fix me.
Yeah, and he's really self-loathing too. He really hates himself. I know you guys love that stuff too. This is a real brooding type. We're all over here just sitting in the dark, you know.
Cutting ourselves.
Hate that. No, I'm not cutting. No,
I do listen to a lot of fucking emo music.
Yeah, there you go. He has a guitar. He can play an acoustic song for you under a tree. No, I
said, baby.
It's only Green Day, time of your life. That one song that everybody can play.
It's actually just Boulevard Broken.
Brothers. He's that guy that goes to the Guitar Center and practices Stairway to Heaven on the amp until everyone else leaves.
Yeah. That's the one everybody in high school played with Smoke.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Or on bells. I still taught myself how to play the Zelda Ocarina of Time theme song on bells. I was pretty proud of myself for that.
I learned how to play
cool.
Daddy, Would You Like Some Sausage on the keyboard. Freddie Got Fingered.
It's a great movie that I'm glad that I've actually seen it.
Yeah.
When you talk about it, I've never seen it. Have you seen Chum Scrubber?
No.
Watch Chum Scrubber.
Is that
Everybody's on pretty much.
Is that on like RedTube or?
No, probably. But I think that is a casting couch. This one is more of an indie film, but less that kind of indie.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, look up Chum Scrubber because we were talking about what's the game?
Was it?
Not No Man's Sky, but
We Happy Few.
Yeah, you were talking about Joy. Basically, everybody's on pills and shit in this one.
Oh, nice.
And it's like this one kid just sells the scripts instead of taking them.
Random. So before we wrap up here, and because I know we have another episode to do tonight.
Yeah.
Some comic issues to go. I heard this thing and I forgot to bring it up in Bread and Circuses. So we'll loose it together Tinder wise this way. Let's say you meet a rave girl on Tinder, and she takes you to this rave and she busts out some 100% pure cocoa, and wants you to do a line of it. Did you guys heard that this is a thing now, that rave kids are just actually snorting pure cocoa?
No.
Cocoa powder?
Yeah, to get like a 15-minute euphoric high.
No, I thought you were talking about Coke.
I literally thought you were talking cocaine as well.
Cute. No, I'm talking about this is the great thing when you work in an office. You know, people think that like the 9 to 5 crowd, like the Office Daily crowd, that they're all
all they have time to do is troll the internet.
You know,
learn about like crazy shit that's happening in society, dude.
This is where I hear all the funny stuff about like, hey, did you hear that rave kids are doing lines of cocoa now? And I was like, no, I didn't, but that is hilarious. It sounds like something you do in high school. Actually, it sounded like a Dane Cook joke when he talks about like snorting Nesquik as a child, being a little 6-year-old rebel. But so apparently there are people at raves doing lines of cocoa power. Yeah, I wonder who he stole that from. Ooh, it burns. So yeah, my new goal for the month on Tinder is to find a rave girl that wants to drop a line cocoa. I'm in love with the cocoa.
Oh man,
I'm gonna hit him with that one. So, you guys have any last messages for our brothers in this online dating struggle? I know Dijon.
I would sort to Coco if she was a 10.
Wait, clarify, because you've mentioned a lot of anal reluctancies here. Are you saying you'd snort just chocolate powder if she was
just
a 10, or you're gonna
Yeah,
all
if
right.
she was a 10.
You see some weird stuff on the internet, man. You could have been talking about something else.
Yeah, no, I was not talking about any of that stuff, but not for me. But yeah, I'd sort to Coco if she was a 10. Actually, probably an 8 or a 7.
I'd do it. Low. I'd do it probably just to do it the one time, and because honestly, for me, I'd be doing it if she's like a 4 or a 5, probably. Like I don't need any help with the 10.
I would only be doing it to fit in, not because I wanted to do it. That's why.
I would be doing it because I'm that dude that's like, when I say I'll try anything once, I mean that in about an 80-85% capacity. There are most things where I'm like, you know what? This is not going to kill me, right?
Right.
Yeah,
well,
all right then.
Okay, yeah. You draw the line at butt stuff. That's fair. We all have our lines. I have a line somewhere.
Ooh.
There's some. I don't like things that are sharp.
Butt stuff.
No.
Ladies, gentlemen.
No. Correction. I was
Lady boys.
I was gonna play the stop you when you're wrong game, but I had to stop because you were wrong. It's always ladies' night at Shea Kev. And with that,
what about the lady boys?
There are no. Okay, and there's no. There's what about no? There's not. That was not an open-ended statement that I gave. It's ladies' night. Anyway,
Chicks with dicks.
no.
That was all about it. This is RJ with 6 Secret Radio. That was Lou. No,
check out Lou and RJ on meatspin.com.
Yeah.
And we will be back momentarily with Lou. You want to
Spinning that pinwheel.
You want to lead into what you're gonna? You got an episode coming up.
T minus. What? 20 minutes?
About a quickies amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about we'll be going over.
Just
was
some
it
comic
Marvel?
reviews. Yeah.
We're doing Marvel tonight in DC tomorrow.
Yeah.
Getting prepped for your Comic-Con trip, which is
Definitely September 23rd, 24th, and
September
25th.
23rd, 24th, 25th.
Down in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Bad Dinner Guests will be there. I don't know that we'll be there in full force, but we will be there enough to cover it for you and make you wish you were there.
Yeah.
And for all you Cincinnati girls, we'll be on Tinder. So hit us up.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, man.